quite unreliable. Now, India is on a tour to England, and on this tour, India will be playing a 5 match test series with England. And I will be giving my prediction about this test series in this video. And when England toured India earlier this year, I had given my prediction about that series also, and that prediction was correct. I predicted that India would win that series 3-1. I will give the link of that video in description of this video if you haven't seen it. And now talking about this series, first of all, let's do a brief analysis of both the teams, the overall situation. And after that, on the basis of my analysis, I will give you my prediction. Looking at both the teams, it is quite evident that both the teams have strong bowling, while they may struggle in their batting. It was quite evident even when both the teams played against New Zealand recently. England lost to New Zealand in a two-match series at home. They lost by 1-0, and India lost to New Zealand in WTC final. And both these teams, India and England, lost because of their weakness in their batting. New Zealand proved to be superior because they were better in both the departments. Both India and England could give a tough fight in the bowling department, but not in the batting. Now, if we see the England team, they are missing some of their important players, like Jofra Archer is not there, Chris Wokes is not there, and recently Ben Stokes also made himself unavailable for this series. So, looking at these unavailable players and also the recent track record of England, many of the Indian analysts are feeling that this is a great chance for India to win in England. Well, they may be correct here to some extent, but if we look from English point of view, because to give a correct analysis, you have to see both sides of a coin. Looking from English point of view, even the English supporters may be feeling the same thing, that this Indian batting lineup is weak, so maybe it's a really good chance for England also to again win a home series against India, because England won the last two home series against India. In 2018, when India toured England, there was 5 match test series which India lost 4-1. And in 2014 also, there was a 5 match test series which England won by margin of 3-1. So England will also be feeling the same thing. And even though English batting lineup is weak, but still they will have the home advantage. You never know, at home some of their inexperienced players and out of form players, or those players who haven't really scored big in recent games, they may end up making a good score, while Indian batting lineup, if we see, they are unproven in these English conditions. In the last few tours also, we have seen that English batsmen struggle against swing bowling, and our middle order especially is not in great form. Virat Kohli hasn't scored a century in last 2 years. Ajinkya Rahane is struggling. Chiteshwar Pujara is also struggling. And if we see the stats, Virat Kohli averages only 35 in England, and Rahane, even though he has good record overseas, but in England he averages only 29.5. And against England, his record is poorest. Rahane averages only 24.5 in the 17 test matches which he has played against England, both at home and at uh, overseas in England. And Pujara in England averages only 27.5. So you see, our middle order looks quite shaky out here, and also these three players are not in great form. They have struggled in the recent matches. And then if we look at the opening pair, Rohit Sharma has to prove himself in England, that he can score runs as opener in England in test matches. Mayank Agarwal is making a comeback, and he too has to cement his place and prove himself. So Indian lineup is also looking quite unreliable, and on papers, both the teams are looking quite similar, and India, in fact, is looking more experienced if we look at the number of matches. But what I feel is that Indian batsmen will struggle in the conditions out here in England, and England batsmen will benefit due to the home conditions. So, due to the home advantage, what I feel is that in this series, England will win. So, my prediction, first of all, for this series is that England will be the winner of this series. Now, talking about the final score line, it also depends upon the factor of rain. If it rains in some match, that match can end in a draw. Now, I can't foresee that event, but I am assuming that at least one of the match will end in a draw, maybe due to rain or both the teams will bat well, and that's why one of the match will end in a draw. And out of remaining four matches, India will manage to win one match and England will win three matches. So, my final prediction is that England will win this series by a margin of 3-1. And England had lost by 3-1 in India. So, England, what I feel is that they will return back the favor to India by winning by a margin of 3-1. And I know that this is an Indian channel and most of my viewers are Indians, so they won't be liking my prediction. But I must tell you that I like to give an unbiased and honest review. And though I will be supporting India in this series, but I will give my prediction in an unbiased manner. And as per my analysis, this is my prediction. But I will be happy if India can prove me wrong and win this series. So let's see what India does if India can spring up a surprise and win the series. And I will also be giving few more predictions in my upcoming video, like who will be the top run scorer in the series, maximum wicket taker, and few more predictions. So you can watch that video also. I will give the link of that video in the description and at the end screen. So okay, that's it. Let's see how India performs in this series.